and welcome to another weekly vlog. You know what, I'm going to have to get a mic for this. It may cut out driving sound. It's Monday and I have just set off on my drive to Belfast to go for a mammogram. Yeah, I think we should keep our eye on such things. They are free, but you have to give, well, every piece of paper that you look at, every email that you look at about your appointment, they ask for a donation. So I'll have to make some form of donation, but it actually costs, because the price is on the email as to how much one mammogram costs, £120. I mean, wow. So we shall go and get sorted. I'm a bit concerned about my sat-nav. It did this when we were going to the kennels, when I'm putting in a full postcode and it doesn't recognise it. It brings up stuff that's like on that, maybe near that area, but it's not bringing up the actual address, and I don't understand why. So the postcode I was going to was BT9 6EE, but when I pressed set as destination, it came up BT96 without the EE, and it did that last week when we were going to the kennels, and I just happened to look up paws and claws to see if it would show, and the kennels, I found it by searching for the name, but it would not take the postcode. So I'm a little bit concerned that when I get up to Belfast, it'll take me to the general vicinity. But another thing is, my postcode where I live starts off with the two first letters for Belfast, BT, and then two numbers, and then basically my postcode, the first 5 digits of the 7-digit postcode is exactly the same as my mum's. My mum lives 12 miles away from me, so I'm a little bit concerned. Like when I lived halfway between where I live now and my mum's house, the first 4 letters were different. I don't know why. I don't know how it works, because you would think that the postcode should be the same, or should be completely different for where my mum is and where I am, but it isn't. It's weird, I don't know. So yeah, I may have to resort to my phone. Hopefully that will help me out. But the problem is trying to set up my phone. I'm going to have to pull over somewhere to set it up, because obviously I'm speaking to you on it right now, aren't I? But yeah, I'll pull over after I've finished waffling to you to set it with the actual address, because I'm not trusting this at all. I shall let you know when I get there. I've left, it's 1:10. My appointment's at 2:30, and the drive's about an hour, but then you have to factor in traffic and me getting lost. So fingers crossed I make it on time, folks. They say the appointments are every 10 minutes, so if you miss your slot, tough luck, you don't get to have your test. And to drive all this way and back would be not very nice, and if I didn't get my test. So I'm gonna switch off, guys. I shall check back in when I get there if I've got time before I go in. If not, I'll check in on my way back. It's typical, you know, right, it's turning red. There's a traffic light camera, not roadworks, red light I'm coming up to. I'm wondering if I can just put my address into my phone now. Right, I'm gonna go. M2. Right, the road says M2, that's what I need. M2. Right, but wait till you see me ending up on M2 South, driving towards Dublin next. Oh, you can take the country out of the girl, eh? Right, that's interesting, isn't it? Right, guys, I'm trying to, I think I know where I am now. And I'll tell you why, and you'll see how greedy I am. You can see in the distance the big brown ugly building. What you probably can't see is right at the end of it, it says Cityside. That's where we go for our Chinese buffet and movie house cinemas. Sign above me says the north. That's good. Head north, further north. So we're going right up to the north coast. Look at this cheeky bugger sneaking in and out, that grey car. Right, we're safe folks. We're on the road to the M2. I'm going to join the motorway in a minute. I know where I'm going. Happy day. So you got to see a little bit of Belfast. So, yep, so I'm not moving this. I know it's like too far over to this side, but we'll keep it where it is. So yeah, the mammogram was over in 15 minutes. It's so difficult to stand. You have to like lean forward, stand with your legs apart, put your shoulders back, put one of your arms behind your back, lean into the thing so that you're at a level with it, and you're stand. Honest to God, you have to have 4 scans, 2 on each boob, and you feel like you're going to lose your balance the entire time. It's a bit uncomfortable. I'm not going to say it's not, but it's not painful. It's like smear tests. Let's talk about something even worse. Smear tests. Any woman that's had a smear test, I don't know if you're watching in America, is it a regular thing? Will you be called forward? Because I know it works differently with insurance and stuff in America, which is awful. We're really lucky here in that if we need treatment we can go and get it. In the UK and Ireland, women are called forward I think every 3 years for their smear test. I've always gone for mine. And it has been fine, uncomfortable most of the time. Once it was sore, but I think the woman that was doing it just was not very good, because I was left with a really sore back. Because she made me put my knuckles under the base of my back to get into a bit odd. Well, let's not go into discussions about smear tests, but a mammogram is not as uncomfortable as a smear test, but I still wouldn't say a smear test is painful, so don't ever not go for one because you think it's going to be sore or you're embarrassed. We're all the same folks. People that are there aren't remotely bothered about what you've got. So that's that done for another 2 years. What age am I? 46. Oh, it's depressing. So I can go again when I'm 48 in 2 years' time, and then I'm not allowed to go for another one until they call me. They don't start standard screening for women mammograms until they're 52. So that place that I went today, they do screening for women from the ages of 40 to 49 and from 70 plus, because once you're 70, the NHS don't give you scans anymore. Until you're 52, they don't scan you. So, yeah. So right, en route home, I must phone Darren and tell him I'm on my way home. And I will catch up with you guys later. It is Tuesday, and I am on my way into my mum's. I'm going to try, if I don't get held up in traffic, to stop off at the cemetery. She wants to get some little fake flowers to go on the grave because someone took the last one apparently. So it's for my grandparents' grave, my mum's parents. So she said there's a little pot left, but the thing the flowers went in is left, but it's not like a vase, it's some sort of a pot. So I'm gonna have to go in before I go into my mum's and see if I can find this grave for a start, because it's a big cemetery. I've an idea of a ballpark of where it is. Obviously I've been to the grave before, it's my grandparents' grave, but trying to find it is so I've got, well, I'm hooking in my pockets because I lifted it and I'm going to be really angry if I didn't put it in my pocket. I did, there it is. I've got a tape measure to measure like the diameter of what we've got, so that when we go to get something to put on the grave it'll fit. So my mum says, oh, if it doesn't fit we'll just put it beside it, and then I thought, you know what, let's go try and find it before I go in and get the size, and then I can measure. I don't exactly know what it is she says is on the grave because I don't remember. It's been quite a while since I've been. I shall take you with me if there's not people watching, because it's going to look really odd to film in a graveyard if there's people about. Something I always found really weird is Whitby. There's a car in front of me doing 35 in a 60. was going to say. Yeah, Whitby in England, if you're watching, you're not from the UK, Whitby is a town in the north of England, said to be, now the guy that wrote Dracula, Bram Stoker, was from Ireland, but I think, did he write it in Whitby? And there's a lot of like Gothic architecture. There's a castle, as an abbey, Whitby Abbey. Gothic architecture, it's beautiful. And every year, numerous times in Whitby, there is like big Gothic festivals, and everyone goes in full regalia. Now we've got a lorry on the wrong side of the road, and the guy in front of me is having a panic attack about the fact there's a lorry on the wrong side of the road. We've now come to a complete stop. Yeah, so Whitby, why was I talking about Whitby? What the hell was the point of that? Graves, that's what, right. So, there's this big Gothic festival every year. I've never been, I've been to Whitby, and it's lovely. Darren used to go a lot when he was younger. He has been to the Goth festivals, and everybody goes proper full out Victorian, steampunk. It's amazing to see. But in Whitby Abbey, there's obviously a graveyard, and it's a very common thing for all the Goths to go up into the graveyard and have their photographs taken amongst the gravestones and stuff. And I find that a little bit disrespectful, it has to be said. You're stood on someone's grave. That's another thing I don't like. Don't stand on people's graves. Again, disrespectful. Sometimes you can't help it, because in certain graveyards you don't know it's a grave because there's no headstone, and you may accidentally step on one. But they go up and actually drape themselves over the headstones to try and get a like, dark Gothic picture. And it's like, firstly, it's so stereotypically just daft goth. It's like, you don't all have to do the same thing. It's like, it's summer, it's 30 degrees, the Goths are out in all their paraphernalia and their big boots and their black jackets and their... I was a goth. But I mean, I'm not going to come out in blistering sunlight in all my gear because it's not cool to not be seen like that. I mean, really? Since when did how we look take precedence over comfort? Maybe that's my age. But even when I was young, I wouldn't have done that. In summer, I dressed appropriately. I never went out in a leather jacket and all the rest of it in full makeup in the summer. No. So yeah. Don't like disrespecting graveyards. I think you should respect, even if you're not a Christian yourself. That's a subject. I think I'm agnostic. I'm one of these people, I'm not going to say 100% something doesn't exist, and I'm not going to say it does, because I don't know. And I know the whole point of Christianity is to have faith without proof. I'm a doubting Thomas. I know a lot about religion. I studied it in school and did very well at it because I was hammered over the head with it as a child. Every single week, twice every week, I have to go to Mass. Every Friday night, every Sunday, every holy day. My birthday falls on a holy day. And get this will make you laugh. The Immaculate Conception. Now, I'm on a straight road, and it's the only place from here to town that I have an opportunity of overtaking this guy that's driving slow, and he's just sped up. What's going to happen is, after he's come off the straight, he's slowed down already. He'll slow back down to 30 mile an hour again. What is it with people? That when they're driving and they see a car coming the other way, they slow down. When they see a corner, they slow down. And I don't mean a tight corner, I just mean generally a corner. Or a car on the other side of the road. We're not on a narrow road. There's loads of room. There's nice wide lanes each side. But they will slow down and hit the brakes every time they see a car coming the other way. It makes you think this should do tests more often. I'm a big believer that maybe every 5 years you should have a version of a driving test. Not as hard as the driving test is, but there should be a version just to see that people can drive, can park. Excuse me. Because some people, honest to God, should not be driving. Anyway, I've waffled enough. I'll switch off now, and I shall try and take you into the graveyard with me. If there's parking, if there's no funeral on. Because if there's a funeral on, obviously I'm not going in there. But you shall see me when you see me, folks. Folks, here we go. Let's try and find... Why do I think it's down here a bit more? Right, I'm not going to... Is that it? I'm not going to walk about with this all over the place. Look at how big this place is, folks. Find it, folks. Yeah. This one. So this is it. It's my grandparents' grave. Some dead flowers I need to take away. And I'll bring up some new ones on a couple of days' time. So we need to get something put in there. Black stones are looking nice. I must take a picture for my mum, but she can't get up to it. God, folks, look at this one. The Wards are an infamous family in Northern Ireland. They're travellers, so just going to go and put my flowers in the bin. See all the graves. This is the area where the new graves are. I knew that was going to be a ward as well. And there's my wee car waiting on me. All the older graves are up there. You can probably see all the old. It's really interesting to go look at. Driving out of here. There's 3 guys walking about. Let me just see how far this will zoom in. Back. There's 3 guys walking. Can you see them? The one guy's turning right in a white top. They're going round all the graves, the ward graves. That really fancy one, that OTT one I showed you was a ward grave. Staring at me like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Sort of thing, like I've no right to be here. Just need to get turned round. There's an exit down the bottom, but I'm not sure if cars can use that or not. So I'm going to turn around and go back out the top. There's so many wards are a very infamous family. I think every area has one. But in Northern Ireland generally, even in Ireland, the Wards are the most famous traveller family. They're very well known. And all the graves that are wards are like, maybe you shouldn't say OTT about a grave, but they are OTT. There's a crow flying over all those old gravestones. It looks really quite eerie. I'll still be at my mum's for 2 o'clock, so that only took 10 minutes. And 7.5 centimetres hole in the top of that, so I don't think she's going to be able to get anything that's going to fit in that unless she gets some flowers. But obviously flowers, my mum can't get up to the grave because there's obviously grass. You might be able to get her close enough, you know, because you can drive pretty close. Taking a picture of it for her so she can see. She's always saying, how's the grave, does it need, you know, does it look tatty, or, you know, she wants to make sure it's not messy or anything, which clearly it isn't, so she'll be pleased about that. So yeah, we'll go and see what we can find. She wants to go up on Thursday, 2 days time, because it would have been my granny's birthday. Though that grave is, you'll have heard me say that I was pretty much brought up by my grandparents, to be honest. My mum and dad moved in with my grandparents when I was 3. Before that, my granny looked after me all the time when my mum worked, and then obviously my mum got diagnosed with MS, and then she couldn't work from that point because it did go downhill pretty quickly. Sorry, I'm just trying to cunt this roundabout. It's just full of yeehaws, all going the wrong way with no indication. So because my mum was so ill and my dad was obviously working full time, my granny was mainly the one that brought me up, and my granny used to take me out every night walking with the dog, really long walks, which is what I credit being so good at sports when I was in school. So disappointing now to not have a fit bone in your body when it was such a big part of your youth. But yeah, so that would have been the people that brought me up when I was a kid that are in that grave, so I've been very close to both of them. It's not like, you know, I didn't really see them like grandparents, it was more than that. Not that grandparents aren't a close part of your life, but for me they were like second parents. So, in we go. Thank you for listening to me waffle as usual. I'll let you know if we manage to get anything for the grave. Catch up with you later, guys. I want to see if you guys can hear this. Those trees are absolutely jam-packed full of birds. Can you hear them? Honestly. Back sooner than you thought. My mum's not up to going out today. She's not very well. So I have to go and do a couple of little messages, a couple of little favours. I have to get the birds, so my mum has 2 budgies. I have to get them some millet and honey bars. And they didn't have scones in the delivery. Oh Jesus, there's cars coming every direction now. So if one car comes and stops you getting out, then half the town comes. They didn't have scones in the delivery this morning that she ordered, so I'm going to actually go into Tesco and see if they've got any scones. Or do you call them scones? I call them scones because I'm common. Yeah, so I might try and take you in with me. Just for something different from me in the car. I'm sure the supermarket isn't your idea of a fun time, like, but... Oh, don't stall. Right, let's go in behind this guy. Just on my way to the cinema in the next town over to see the is it the Banshees of Inisherin or the Banshee? I'm not entirely sure. This is a new comedy film. It's Irish. It stars Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, who I really like. And it just looks my kind of thing. I shall let you know how it was when I come out, guys. struggle is real, people. Nando's, McDonald's, Burger King. I might cave tonight. I might have a McDonald's. Nope, not have a McDonald's. I might have a Burger King. I'm trying to remember where I parked at the minute. Oh yes, it's over here. That blue one is mine. It's too dark, but I got a burger. I got a dirty burger. I was going to talk to you about what I thought of the movie, but it's really dark in this car park. Right, I'm going to talk to you about what I thought of the movie. Kind of see me. Because I'm not going to talk for very long. Could have a mukbang at the same time. Right. Banshees of Inisherin. I thought, just in case you're wondering, I'm having a Whopper. Oh, look at the size of that burger. With everything in it. Happy days. Need to sit back a bit so this will fit. The bloody steering wheel's on my way. I'm right up the steering wheel because I'm short. I'm 5'6" in case you're curious about how short I am. Right, I was expecting, I do apologise, I'm trying to fit everything in here. To give me any sauce, he has, bless his heart, is giving me some ketchup. I'm really sorry about the quality of this, folks. I know it's terrible, but if I wait till I get home, I'll never do a review. So, I thought, now this is a film with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, and I thought it was going to be a comedy. Now don't get me wrong, there were moments of comedy in it. I could do with stop and whistling, but I'm sorry. How much salt do they think one person needs? I don't put salt on my fries. Do I like ketchup though? Yes, it's full of sugar and salt, I'm aware. I don't often have a big dirty burger. I'm having one now. Because I really regretted my last trip to see Smile when I didn't get the burger. So I thought I'm having the burger. I haven't eaten today apart from like a cinnamon roll for my breakfast. So this is my second thing to eat today. So you're not here to hear about my burger, are you? The Banshees of Inisherin. I was expecting a comedy. There was little moments of black comedy in there, but that was no comedy. It's going to be very hard to review. Oh, it's all dropping out. Flipping hell. My dad would probably like that movie. It was a good movie. It was a well-made movie. The location was stunning. It was on an island off the coast of Ireland. And it was obviously set like a lot of years ago during the Civil War, which they call the Civil War. It was going on in the mainland, so you could hear like gunfire and stuff through the movie. But it's this like little reclusive island. And like I say, Brendan Gleeson's character wakes up one morning. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to get home and that guy's not going to be called Brendan Gleeson, and I'm going to have said his name wrong the whole way through. Like when I called David Tennant Neil Tennant, and somebody got really annoyed about that in a review. If you want professionalism, I will swear, folks. I'm just thinking, my husband is a thing about people noisy eating. I wonder did any of you have that? I do apologise. That was an odd film, guys. Odd. I'm not making any more noise. I almost feel like if I drive, you might get to see clearer, but if I can't put the light on, so I don't know. So let's try this again without me fizzling and rattling food. It was very nice, thank you. I've got my drink. I've got my orange Fanta here, even though it says Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola do them, don't they? I don't know. So, I was expecting a bit of a comedy, a bit quirky, and it was comedic in places. Very dark. I'm really perplexed. I don't think I would watch it again. I might watch it with my dad if he really wanted to see it. Very good performances. As I say, the basic storyline, I won't give any spoilers, is that two guys that have been friends for many years, and one of them wakes up one day and decides he just doesn't like the other guy anymore. And the movie is pretty much Colin Farrell's character trying to find out why the other guy doesn't like him and trying to fix it and trying to mend the friendship. And that's all the movie's about. We have Colin Farrell's sister, who he lives with in a little cottage. He looks after animals. He like sells cheese. He has cows and a horse and a donkey, and he farms the land. It's obviously set back many years ago. It gets Irish culture pretty spot on. I mean, I remember going on holiday to the south of Ireland as a child and going into all the little like brick bars, and there would be the fiddle players sitting around in the borin, which is like the drum where they do this, and it like makes this real noise. That's very much a thing in Irish pubs. Yeah, so culturally it was spot on. It was beautiful. Some of the scenery was absolutely stunning to look at. It was a really odd film, guys. I personally wouldn't put that up for any awards. It's like I said with Belfast. There's a guy walking past walking his dog. I've got all the lights on in my car. He's looking at me like I'm half cut. Yep, yes. Have you never seen somebody talking to themselves before? That's me. Hello. So with Belfast, I was quite unenamored by it. I liked it. I thought it was very good, but there was too much wrong with it for me personally. Growing up in Northern Ireland and all that stuff, there was just too much omitted. And I do know that he was trying to make a feel-good film, but there was just some stuff in it that just would never have happened. That was just silly. In this, it's so dark. It's quite bleak. It's quite a depressing movie. You leave it, and it's one of those movies that just ends. No, if I had have had an inkling before I went to see it, I wouldn't have paid to go to the cinema to see that at all. And unless you're desperate to see it for performances, I really would suggest you wait until streaming for that. And you know, I always say cinema above all, but I don't think going to see that in the cinema would gain you anything. For me, out of 10, I'm going to say, for my personal enjoyment level, I'm going to say a 5 or a 6. You know, the cinematography was beautiful, the setting was beautiful, the acting was good, everything looked spot on, the research was obviously perfect, but just wasn't my kind of movie, guys. And I'm really disappointed because we don't get that many movies coming out of Northern Ireland that's not about violence or the Troubles. Or that wasn't, sorry, that it's the island is just off the coast of Ireland. But, you know, it feels like home to me, and I was hoping I would love it, and I didn't. So, home, see how the youngster got on with his homework. Well, that's a grey day. Hello guys, it's Friday night. It's a bit dark, I apologise, I'll try and talk closer. It's probably a more flattering angle for me. I'm just about to go watch the double bill of Poltergeist and The Thing at, it's our big town hall, but it's like Fright Night Northern Ireland is using it to show a couple of 40-year-old horror movies, 40th anniversary edition. I missed the showing of The Lost Boys a few weeks ago. I don't get to go out with Darren very much. We either tend to have to go, either him or me, because we can't really leave Isaac with my parents. But this evening he is at their house. He's in with his Switch and his laptop and his phone, so everything's fully charged. He should have enough to amuse him. I have a feeling we're actually going to only watch Poltergeist because I'm just feeling a bit rough. You can probably hear my throat. I do not have COVID, but I've got a really nasty cold and my throat is like that mix between sandpaper and razor blades. So we shall see. I shall obviously let you guys know how it was. If I can film anything, I will, but I'm thinking probably not. I've told you before what this town's like when people are recording. So yeah. Darren's just gone to pick up a few bits for Isaac's finishing of Isaac's Halloween outfit for Monday. So yeah, I shall catch up with you guys later. Okay, here we go. Let everybody in Ballymena look at us filming ourselves. There's. We're all ready to go with our Poltergeist t-shirt. It is Saturday, folks. Pumpkin carving day. You can hear from my throat how I feel. Look at this. Honestly, hopefully Darren can peel that off. I didn't do it, it was Isaac. I'm not going to stand here now and try and peel it off. I brought this in to show you my kitchen table. This is what I've been dealing with for weeks when Darren starts doing something. My kitchen table. Hello, Dobby. He's painting his bloody welly bits, honest to God. He's obviously dressing up as a clown to take the kids out trick-or-treating. I got some donuts for the kids' party bags. They were only £3 for a massive big pack. And a little cake. And I was going to get cupcakes, which is why those like little things are there, but they were too expensive. I'm skint at the minute, so I'm trying to like cut back where I can. So I'm hoping the donuts fit in those little things. Yeah. So yeah, majorly skinty poos. Alan. Hello. Come in, just get. Come in. Parcel from Kelly came for Isaac today. She sends a Halloween parcel for him every year. Right, I can take this off the sofa now. They'll be back soon. They're getting me some lamb sips, I'm hoping. You watching the telly, Dobby? 3 in the bed, hey? So this is going to be the position for today. Blanket on the sofa. Watch a bit of TV. I'm not right, Molly, hey? Pretty bad, not well. I'm not well. I feel like poo. Just wait for them to come back. I think I showed you my windows, didn't I? Can't really see them very well. There we go. The other one you can't see. We went to see Poltergeist on the thing last night. We ended up only staying for Poltergeist for 2 reasons. I didn't feel very well. And we couldn't sit on the chairs any longer. Our arses were numb. Really uncomfortable fold-down chairs. Almost like what you would expect in a lecture room, like fold-down. They weren't like hard wood, but... Oh, Dobby, please stop looking at my face. Stop it. Look. I love you too, but no. No, you can look at them instead of me. This dog won't stop looking at my face. So, yeah, we just stayed for Poltergeist and then came home. All the good thing is, the 2 guys that were running it have this thing called Fright Club NI. And they're like from the town I'm from, and they're big horror fans. And they have a Facebook, no they don't, they have an Instagram and they have a YouTube channel. So I've subbed to their YouTube channel, and that's pretty cool because it means someone in the same town as me, big horror fan that does YouTube. So that's all good. There's a van just gone down. I bet it's Amazon. Oh, I have such a bloody headache. I'm going to have to take some headache tablets. What a cheery vlog, folks, eh? So Halloween weekend. There's going to be a ton of kids here on Monday. Well, not a ton of kids. 2 kids and Isaac. 3 kids. The noise will be like there's a ton of kids. Please, dogs, have a headache. I did a COVID test yesterday. I don't have COVID. I didn't think I did because... Well, Dobby! When I have COVID, I don't feel like I have a cold. It's always been different symptoms. This just feels like a particularly nasty cold. Last night, oh my God. I couldn't swallow. Get down now! It's my strict voice. Forgot what I was saying. I couldn't swallow. My throat was so sore and swollen. It's still really, really sore. I was like, oh God, this is just getting worse and worse and worse. So I will be very glad to see Darren with some lemon sips when he comes back, so I can get a nice warm lemon sip. Yeah, but I'm not going to keep you listening to me waffle because it's not very entertaining. I shall catch you guys later. So Isaac has opened his parcel from Kelly and Dave. Kelly always sends way too much stuff.
Ducks! Halloween ducks!
How lucky are you?
Oh, I'm vacuuming it as well.
Yes, I got this for Isaac for Christmas. He's got 2.
Hold up! Wait a minute!
Open one and keep one.
Hold up. You can get a
I
fucking
couldn't-
squishy barb.
I couldn't find it. Oh, sorry. Right, I'm just recording that thing on the door. And also this Nightmare Before Christmas thingy thing, which is awesome. Saturday evening. Dobby is relaxing. They're wearing their Halloween jumpers. It's a nice fire on. And Strictly is about to start. And me and Darren both feel like crap because we've got the cold. Although I've just booked Darren's flu and COVID jab, so for next week, so hopefully he's better by then or he won't be going. And we've also booked Isaac's first COVID jab, so he doesn't know yet. He won't enjoy that. Yes, nothing to tell you other than we both feel pants. Look at lovely Molly. And the little jumpers.
You're very tired, aren't you?
And we'll watch a bit of Strictly. Oh, so they'll be wearing Halloweeny stuff tonight, won't they? It is the day before Halloween. Isaac nag to get pumpkin carved. Now he wants to go upstairs and watch YouTube.
Yeah, because that's what he was going to carve the pumpkin.
I thought you might have been interested in being here while it was being carved, Isaac. Isaac drew the picture, but he doesn't want to carve it.
Yeah, I want the surprise for it when it's done.
He's now trying to think of excuses as to why he can go upstairs and watch TikTok, or whatever the hell it is. We're watching that Werewolves by Night from Disney Plus. And the dogs are monopolising my blanket. And me and Darren have got a horrible virally cold, which is wonderful. So, quiet day in today. Ruben and Robert are... I'm filming Darren because you do not want to see the state of me at the minute. I've got a horrible sty on my eye. Let me zoom in so you can see what's going on. There's the pumpkin Isaac drew. Yeah, we've got Ruben and Robert coming tomorrow evening for trick-or-treating. This is the thing when you take kids out trick-or-treating, there's no one in for for when other people come. One of us has to stay with the dogs because they go ballistic every time the door goes, so that'll be me because I'm antisocial. And yeah, that's what's happening today. I shall check in at a later date. I think, is the pumpkin finished?
No, not yet.
Right, I'll switch it back on so you can see him when he's finished. There he is. Pumpkin. So my little bits over there. So we'll have a continue watching this. I'll try and get my mum on the phone to tell her I'm not coming in because I feel pants. This is Dobby getting her jumper on to go walk. She does not want their Smalley in her jumper.
Well, Molly knows how to put hers on. She puts her arms in the sleeves for you.
Dobby doesn't want to go.
She needs full turtle because it's drafty.
Dobby's very lazy.
Oh, pardon. And when it gets colder, we're going to have sock snoods.
No socks, no.
And then they'll be like that. Hang on, let's do a snood face. That's what she's going to look like. And a snood. And they're going to have a snood. Don't fall asleep while I'm talking to you. I'm not that boring.
Are they going to walk easy?
Going to Badger Corner, aren't we? Going to go sniff some badgers.
She's wide awake now. It's not often you see Dobby wide awake like that.
Well, she's going to badger hunting, isn't she? Well, sniffing at them anyway.
Cake. Donuts. Lemon sip. About sums up Halloween. Dobby's had her tea. She's looking to see what else she can get. Molly's now coming to see if she can get something. You tell them, Dobby. No. Oh, shush. Whoop. Of course I missed that.
I'll be back next Sunday to drop off more supplies. Thanks again.